Hello, this is a video and picture news about public schools no longer safe for illegal foreigners. Operation Dudula launches new campaign. Thanks for joining in and make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss our updates. Today we're discussing how the movement known as Operation Dudula has initiated a campaign in South Africa aimed at stopping undocumented foreign nationals' children from accessing public schools, demanding that those schools prioritize South African learners instead. According to reports, this drive has seen warning letters delivered to several public schools in Gauteng, including in Soweto, stating that foreign children should not be admitted ahead of South African children. The campaign raises serious questions about access to education and rights under South Africa's law. The Gauteng Department of Education has responded by reaffirming that citizenship or immigration status is not supposed to determine a child's placement in a public school. The department emphasized that all children of school-going age must be in school, including those who are undocumented. Operation Dudula's leader, Dudula, told the media that the campaign is about putting South African children first and that foreign nationals' children should attend private schools or pay. On their side, they argue this is a practical response to high demand and limited resources. They say they're acting to protect what they call South African learners' rights. However, critics say this drive is discriminatory and potentially unlawful. Civil society organizations argue that the intention and effect of the campaign undermine the rights of children and are setting a dangerous precedent. Some have described it as xenophobic and contrary to the values of non-discrimination in education. From the legal and policy perspective, the Department of Education reiterated that placement in public schools cannot properly consider citizenship or immigration status as a condition for access. The department said its priority is teaching and learning, and any disruption or attempt to exclude children based on origin is not acceptable. So what does this mean in practical terms for schools, parents and learners? Schools in Gauteng and elsewhere now face pressure both from community groups such as Operation Dudula and from education authorities to maintain inclusive access while managing overcrowding and resource constraints. For parents of foreign national children, particularly those who may be undocumented, the situation becomes more precarious. Their children may be being asked to wait, be placed lower down in queues or guided to private schools even though no private school may be affordable or available. For South African parents, this campaign may feel like their concerns are being voiced, that their children's access and resources are being protected. But for the education system as a whole, this is a complex balancing act. South Africa's schools already face funding shortfalls, large class sizes, infrastructure issues, and many learners who are South African but also undocumented. The department noted that undocumented South African children are part of the problem, so sorting by nationality alone is not straightforward. Let's consider the social and human rights dimensions. Denying or discouraging access to schooling simply because of immigration status has been condemned by rights groups as violating international standards on the right to education for all children without discrimination. Limiting access can increase the marginalization of migrant communities and vulnerable children, hamper integration, and perpetuate social exclusion. On the flip side, resource constraints and large numbers of learners mean the system must find ways to prioritize effectively. But many would argue that the answer lies in improving capacity rather than drawing lines based on nationality. Now you may ask, what's next? The campaign is likely to intensify, especially given that it forms part of broader political mobilization ahead of upcoming elections. Schools may become battlegrounds for rights, access, and political messaging. Education authorities may need to enforce policy more strongly and civil society may push for court challenges. The coming months will tell whether this drive remains peaceful and lawful or escalates into disruptive action. If you're affected as a parent, or educator or community member, keep track of your child's rights, ask your school about placement policies, find out whether immigration status is affecting enrollment, and reach out to support organizations if needed. Schools should keep clear records, treat all children equitably and work with education authorities to ensure inclusive access. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already so we can keep bringing you updates like this. Stay informed and check the facts. Watch until the end to see the sources and verify for yourself. And now a little light note, if school placement were like a queue for a roller coaster ride, none of us would want to be told we're last just because we brought the wrong passport. Let's hope everyone gets into the ride, not just those with perfect documents. Laugh it off but keep it real. All images used are for illustration purposes only. Sources: Daily News, Sayabonga Sit Ho, Awel Janisei Maromo, SABC News.